Snapchat, and rumbling. Fuck, shake your tits and swing your dicks. It's another Friday in paradise, kids. You made it. So raise a glass, rub your ass, and kick your weekend off with another stimulating episode of your favorite internet sensation with libation. That's right, another episode of the Friday Wrap-Up. Before we get today's show kicked off, I want to tip my hat to today's libation. I told you guys last week that I was going dry for 30 days. I wasn't kidding, okay? And I said in that time frame, I'm going to have one drink a week, and it's going to be right here on the show, but at no point during the next 30 days am I going to touch Jack Daniels or Yingling, which is a tall order. So tonight's libation, because of that, is none other than my old friend, Jack Daniels. So as I do to drink up and be somebody. I'm going to miss you for 30 days, my friend. You know, I was traveling this week, so I was in the airport, and I'm walking past. I was in the Delta terminal, and I was walking past like the duty-free shop, and I noticed that they had single malt Jack Daniels. Now, duty-free shops tend to carry shit that you can't find domestically. Like a lot of liquor companies will test certain things out in the duty-free market to see what kicks, what doesn't kick. And so sometimes you find shit you never see before. So they had single malt Jack Daniels. I wish I had like an international fucking boarding pass so I could have bought it. It's about $100 for the bottle. If you look for it online, you can find it, but you're going to pay like $300-400 for it. So the guy in the duty-free shop asked me if I wanted to try it. And I was like, there's a bear shit in the woods. Of course I want to fucking try it. So he pours me a little shot of it. It was like liquid joy. I can't even begin to describe it. It was so fucking good. Like when I drink scotch, I'm a big single malt scotch guy. I don't like the blended scotches. I think they're garbage. Including Johnny Walker Blue. For all you self-proclaimed scotch connoisseurs out there, you don't know shit if you think blue is good. But, you know, I never thought of a single malt. Basically, it's a single malt bourbon. I mean, when you boil it down, I never thought Jack Daniels was a single malt, and holy shit, it just put a whole new spin on Jack Daniels for me. I mean, it was marvelous. Like, I mean, that's the type of shit you drink neat and just sip it nice, you know, on like a brisk fall evening while you're, you know, imbibing on a nice cigar. That's the type of beverage you want. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a long fucking 30 days. Anyway, what a fucking week! What a week! So, like I said, I was traveling. I was in Chicago this week. So I left here Wednesday morning. So I took a red eye into Chicago, and so yeah, I got fucking travel stories. So I have an Uber pick me up at the house, and I take that over to Kennedy Airport. You know, like I always take red eyes. I always take the earliest flight, hoping they're not crowded. And, you know, I'm not a morning person, and I got a fucking chatty Uber driver. He looked like W. Kamau Bell. For those of you that don't, he was like this like fat black guy with this crazy looking fucking beard. You know, he probably went to college to get stupid. You know, he was very chatty. And he was one of these positive retards for no reason positive. Okay, so I get in the car, and he's all chit-chatty and blah, blah, blah. We didn't even get like around the block, and already I realized he's got a face diaper on, so that should have been my first tip off. But like I said, it's the morning, not exactly too crisp, and he turns out he's a fucking liberal. I don't know what the hell he's talking. I said, yeah, well, you know, the recession. He goes, what recession? And then I looked, I saw the face diaper. I'm like, oh God, I got a fucking liberal. Jesus Christ, kill me now. He's pro-Palestine. He thinks Biden is. I said, listen, you know what? This conversation is not starting off the way it should. I said, it's okay if it's a silent fucking ride, okay? I said, if you want to continue this ride, it's okay if it's silent, right? Because you got the wrong guy in the back of the fucking car, and it's too early for this shit. You don't want to talk politics with me, because I'll make you fucking cry. So that's how I kicked my morning off. So I always like to get to the airport, you know, like an hour and a half, 2 hours before. And everyone thinks I'm fucking nuts for doing that. But there's always something. So usually when I fly JetBlue. I like JetBlue better. it just turned out I had to take Delta because Delta had the flights that I needed. JetBlue didn't. I fucking hate taking Delta, but whatever. So I get to the Delta terminal. I walk in. It's like everybody was fleeing New York Wednesday morning. The fucking they had like 3 checkpoints open, and the line wrapped around. I'm like, holy fucking shit! I'm gonna be here for 2 weeks. Okay. First of all, I wanted to murder somebody at the check-in because like there was these 2 fucking old Puerto Rican women, and neither one of them knew how to fucking check in for their flight. In their defense, however, Delta overcomplicated how you check in. Normally, you just put your ticket number in, or you put your name in. No, they wanted either a confirmation number, which is not on the ticket. All tickets are digital, and you can't look up anything with your last name. You got to stick your credit card in there. So these 2 women had no fucking 45 minutes. I thought I was going to kill them both. I go, I check in, boom, done. I get on the fucking line. I'm going to be here a week and a day. So, thank God black women love me. I swear to God, I don't know what it is. I don't know what kind of vibe I throw off, but they really do. They adore me for some reason. So there was this Jamaican lady, older woman. She worked for Delta. She had blonde hair. And she pulls up alongside me. And she had some woman with a wheelchair. And she looks at me, she goes, excuse me, you by yourself? I went, yeah. She goes, come with me. I said, you don't have to ask me twice. I just fucking thought, she said, yeah, you'll be waiting here all day, man. Come with me. And she like grabs me by the hand. And no problem. Everywhere so she's cutting all the lines because she had, if you're in a fucking wheelchair, apparently you don't have to wait in line, right? So she had this fat old white lady in a wheelchair, and she's like, "Come with me," and she goes, "Oh, ease with me," and she's like grabbing my arm. I'm like, "Hey, listen, I'll pimp myself out if it gets me through the fucking checkpoint. 5 minutes, I'm right through." I said, "Look at you," I said, "I could kiss you." She said, "Oh, don't worry, it's my pleasure." Hey, I'm glad I made your fucking day. I gave her a little scooch, and then off I go. So, I'm hanging around, waiting to get on a plane. Like I said, these fucking planes are just... They're fucking ridiculous. The Delta planes, they cram everybody on there, like you're right on top of everybody. And people just don't know how to fly. Okay? Like, they're just not considerate. Apparently, I had every fucking Hasid between New York and Illinois on the plane. I'm the only Gentile on the fucking plane. She said, what am I taking, a kosher flight? So we get on the fucking plane. I'm sitting at the end. Right across the aisle from me, there's this Hasidic couple. And this guy all of a sudden starts unwrapping this fucking bagel with onions and lox. I could smell it before you even I leaned over, I said, excuse me. Is that your breakfast? He goes, yes. I says, you're not going to eat that. He goes, what? It's my breakfast? I'm hungry. I says, no, you don't understand. Wasn't a question. I said, I am not going to sit here for fucking 2.5 hours and smell your bagels and your lox and your fucking onions. I said, I like onion myself. But you know what? I eat it when I'm at home. Okay? I said, it's too fucking early in the morning for me to smell it. I said, put that away. I said, he goes, but I'm hungry. I says, eat when you... I says, you should have ate before you got on the fucking plane. You could eat when you get off. Unless you want to get off the fucking plane and eat your sandwich and come back. But the plane will leave. I says, well, those are the breaks, my friend. I said, but I'm telling you now, you're not eating that. Wasn't a question. Yeah, I made the guy put his fucking breakfast away. I don't give a shit. Okay? You're not going to fucking rape my nose with your breakfast for fucking 2.5 hours at 8 o'clock in the fucking morning. Get the fuck out of here. So bad news this week. So actually, really sad news. Toby Keith died. And, I hate to say this, but I knew it was coming. I mentioned, honestly, Toby Keith was one of my favorite country singers. Always has been. Loved him. I just always liked him. And I mentioned, I think a couple weeks ago, that he was fighting stomach cancer and everything. And I don't even want to put the pictures up because it's just, this fucking cancer just tore him apart. Now, I knew he wasn't long for this world as soon as he was diagnosed with stomach cancer. It's funny because I never seen him in concert, and it was always one of my, it's like one of my biggest regrets. Everybody should have these regrets, right? So a couple years ago, it was like 2 years ago, I was going to Atlantic City. I had to do a trade show down there, and I'm coming down the Atlantic City Expressway, and they have the billboards, and I see Toby Keith. He was apparently at a concert, were advertising for Toby Keith concert, I think at the Borgata. Okay, and I remember I saw the thing, and I said to myself out loud, oh shit, I never seen Toby Keith in concert. I should get tickets to that. And then like a couple hours later, because that's these fucking iPhones, they listen to everything you say. A couple hours later on my news feed on Google, it was announced that Toby Keith had stomach cancer. I remember saying to myself, this motherfucker's gonna die. Because stomach cancer is aggressive. You don't put that into remission. You might buy yourself a little time. So he canceled all his tour dates. You didn't hear about him for 2 years, and all of a sudden it comes out, he's fought the fight and he won, and he looked horrible. Like, he looked emaciated. He had that one little last tour, thank goodness, and then died in his fucking sleep. Very, very sad. So, like I said, I wish I would have seen him in concert, but, those are the breaks. It is what it is. But here's an interesting thing. Because, everybody's got, like, Taylor Swift-itis now, especially with the NFL. And I never liked this little bitch, okay? I don't get it. Like, I don't think she's fucking talented. Her face is irritating, okay? She's a scrawny little fucking thing. And everybody who's a Taylor Swift fan is obviously in need of psychiatric fucking help, okay? And just to show you, she's a skinny, stuck-up little cunt. Because she actually got her start because of Toby Keith. He heard her do a demo or something. She was like 15 years old. And immediately signed her to his record label. Now, he's a smart guy because he probably made a fucking $1 billion off the residuals. But that's a story for another day. So he actually gave her big break. He made her career. Okay? The man dies. And everybody's, tweeting their, condolences and fond memories and blah, 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 and whatever. And this little hilla, nothing. Fucking radio silent. Forgot that she's only Taylor Swift because of Toby Keith. Okay? Yeah. See? So, this just goes to show you. Not America's little darling sweetheart. Little fucking hilla. That's what she is. Speaking of hillas, no, I take it back. I like Miley Cyrus. So, did anyone see the Grammys on Sunday? I didn't watch the Grammys, but I saw this came up on Google, and it was a picture of Miley Cyrus at the Grammys. And I looked, and I went, holy shit. Apparently, Miley Cyrus is getting hair tips from my friend John's wife. She looked like she modeled her hairstyle that night after, this woman's tradition look. So she's ready to go to, an 80s themed rodeo shiva. Her hair was all, done up like my friend's wife's. But, yeah. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Let's see, what else is going on? Next week I have jury duty, officially. So I've skated it a couple of times. So the last time I was on the show, I mentioned that I had jury duty, but I blew it off. So when I called to basically keep myself from getting arrested for skipping out on jury duty, they told me that it's mandatory now that I'm going to have to do it. So I picked a week where I didn't have anything going on, which happens to be next week. So on the 13th, I have to report at 8:45 in the morning at Minneapolis Supreme Court for jury duty. I'm gonna wear a Trump shirt, and hopefully that that absolves me from serving jury duty. You don't want me on a fucking jury. I'm just going to say the person's guilty. Like if they're a liberal, if they're a Democrat, whatever, guilty. Okay, look at them, guilty. Okay, you don't want me on your jury. Okay, you got no shot with me. I'll hang the fucking jury because I am stubborn. If I'm right, and everybody, all 11 others, are like, well, we think he's not guilty. I'm going to say fucking guilty. So you don't want me there, all right? So I figure if I wear a Trump shirt, maybe that'll make me ineligible. They'll go, oh, this guy looks a little unstable. Hopefully, hopefully. Anyway, so that's next week. So Mardi Gras started, Valentine's Day's next week, and we got a hell of a show. So chocolate, mayors, and migrants, buckle up, baby. We're boldly going. Okay, kids, on the persecution of Trump, the Supreme Court ruled that Colorado cannot ban Donald Trump from the ballot, and subsequently no other state can ban Donald Trump from the ballot because he was never charged or convicted or even conducted any insurrection. So there. So, eat a dick. Okay. On another Biden blunder. Well, Joe Biden's had an interesting couple of days. So, with the whole document scandal, just as a refresher, okay, Joe Biden, when he was a senator, when he was a vice president, stole classified documents, removed them from the state, from the Capitol, from the White House, whatever. Now, as a president, you can do that. You can take classified documents home because you can declassify anything you want. VPs and senators cannot do that. So any classified documents that were removed right there, that's a crime. It's treason, okay? And he had these stored in his garage and thing, blah, blah, blah. You know the deal. So, they had a special counsel investigating this to determine whether or not they should bring charges. Mind you, they brought charges on Donald Trump, and he was president at the time and declassified these documents, and which all presidents do. And then they work with the Department of, whatever the fuck, records and whatever to, figure out what goes back, what stays, and all that shit. But, Biden had his AG pull a fucking FBI-style raid, and there you go with Donald Trump. So it came out that Biden was hoarding documents in non-secure locations, so he gave them up. But that doesn't absolve you from the actual fucking crime. So they had a special counsel investigate this. And the special counsel said that Biden's memory is basically shot, and he couldn't remember when he was VP or when his son died. They interviewed him, right? And listen, there's no reason why the special counsel is making this shit up. They basically couldn't remember when he was vice president. He couldn't remember the date that his son died. He was basically twilighting. So the fucking special counsel pretty much called him a feeble-minded old moron. And even though he willfully stole the classified documents when he was a senator and a VP, he won't be charged because he's an idiot and has CRS. He can't remember shit. So they basically said, even though he purposely took the documents knowing that he shouldn't, we're not going to bring charges up because he's got fucking oatmeal in his head. So he gets off from actually being charged for a crime because he's mentally inferior, okay? Meanwhile, Trump, they charged, I guess because he's a very stable genius. Well, apparently when Biden heard this, that, he's cognitively fucking demented, he went berserk. And then he calls a fucking press conference last night, and he's like, there's nothing wrong with my memory. Yeah, I'm an elderly man, but I know what I'm doing. I'm the president, and I put the country on track. No, you didn't. And then he confused the Egyptian president with Mexico. So he basically just cemented everything that the special counsel said. But he's insisting that he's fucking fine. Meanwhile, the special counsel is basically saying, no, he's cognitively challenged. So, this goes to show how stupid Biden is. He gets a fucking get-out-of-jail-free card, and he's arguing about it. My memory's fine. Okay, fine. So your memory's okay? Charge him with a fucking crime. Okay? Charge him and convict him. Because it's a slam-dunk case. All right? But if you're not going to bring charges because he's mentally inferior, that he's unfit for the office of president, so remove him. Invoke the 25th Amendment and fucking remove him. Yeah, I know we're going to get crazy Kamala, but, how much more fucking damage could be done? The election is right around the corner. Neither one of these two jerk-offs are going to be in the fucking White House because they can't cheat big enough. It just goes to show you shouldn't have been there to begin with. Even though, yeah, legitimate fucking election, my balls. But he should either be charged with a crime if he's insisting his memory's fine or have him removed from office. Or they should just drop the fucking charges against Trump because he was actually president at the time that he removed these documents from the White House and he's perfectly legal to do that. Done. I digress. Okay? So like I said, old Joe's had quite a week. Anyway, All right, man. So that the Biden shit's over now. We're gonna do black and white, Pops. We're gonna do black and white. Okay, so, Pops, you want to intro what we got this week for black and white? You bet your motherfucking ass I want to intro it. So this week we gonna talk about girl fights. Girl fight. Yeah, that's right. You know, the black girls and the white girls, they fight different. That's true, they do. So, let's take a look at it. That's right, let's roll the clips, baby. Let's roll the motherfucking clips.
Sorry, get that meat!
Haven't. You're still a lying, two-faced whore.
I'm a whore? How am I a whore?
How are you not a whore?
Name one guy I've slept with. Name one!
Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh, come on, Christina. What are you doing? Get in there. Get in there. Oh my God. Harder. Get her. This looks amazing. Come on. Come back. Go on. To the left. Come on. Get in there. Fight back. Oh my God. Get her. This looks amazing on camera. Oh, Kristen. Really? Come on. Keep going. Go.
You know, I got what? Pop, maybe you could answer this question for me. Go ahead, baby. What's your question? Why is it when black girls fight, their hair and shoes and clothes always fall off? I don't know. That's because these motherfuckers, they fight like wild. Yeah, I got it. You know, nothing but chimps and pussies, right? That's right, baby. Nothing but chimps and pussies, motherfucker. Okay, kids, get your tickets out. We're about to hop onto that maniacal, magical express at the mayhem and fuckery. The crazy train's about to leave the station. Oh, but woo! First stop, New York City. So, New York City abandons the subway surveilling robot program after spending about $100,000 on this 420-pound robot that they thought was going to be, curtail crime in the subway. Well, I guess after every homeless person pissed on it and threw shit at it, they figured maybe this isn't a good idea. That was taxpayer money well spent, Mayor Motherfucker. Good call. Well, speaking of Mayor Motherfucker, excuse me, while we're in New York City, Mayor Motherfucker went to Brownsville this week and addressed the crowd, and he was basically blaming racism for his inability to run New York City.
Look at this team, folks. Look at this team. Look at my deputy mayors. First deputy mayor, Sheena Wright. Deputy mayor, stand up. They need to see you. Deputy mayor, Williams Ison. Deputy mayor, Mira Josie. Deputy mayor, Amazar. Deputy mayor, Maria Torres Springer. Have you ever seen this much chocolate leading the city of New York? And then go down the line. Look who's here. This is representative of the city. That's why people are hating on me.
No, we haven't seen that much chocolate, and therein lies the problem, okay? Nobody hates you because everyone in your administration is black. We fucking hate you because you're stupid, incompetent, and completely unable to do your fucking job, okay? Have you ever seen this much chocolate? Have you ever seen the city this fucked up? Perhaps vanilla is a more productive flavor. Let's leave the chocolate in Hershey, okay? And then he went on, complaining. Take a look at
You
this.
trying to figure out why they're hating on me? They hating on me because how many of you go to church? Ma'am, this is a Matthew 21:12 moment. Jesus walked in the temple. He saw them doing wrong in the temple. He did what? He turned the table over. I went to City Hall to turn the table over.
Now he's comparing himself to Jesus. Okay, so, oh my God, you can't, I mean, and people say, I got a fucking ego. Listen, Jesus accomplished a couple of things. The only thing this mush-mouthed jerk-off accomplished was making de Blasio look like a fucking doctor, okay? You can just hear the stupid in his voice. I turned the table over. I'm a mush-mouthed motherfucker. Just shut the fuck up and go sit down, okay? Like, you want to give him a slice of watermelon and tell him to sit in the fucking corner. He set back any kind of, any leaps and bounds or any, advancement that black professionals made in the last 30, 40 years. This guy completely set them back, all right? Yeah, take a look at this.
First woman police commissioner of color. First Spanish-speaking police commissioner. First Spanish-speaking correction commissioner.
So I like to call this DEI doing nothing. We get it. You have a lot of black women in high-ranking jobs, and all of these people were appointed because they were black women and not because they were qualified. How do I know? Look at the condition of the fucking city. That's how I know.
And so I know that many of you may stand around and say, well, you know what, Eric, we don't like this, we don't like that. I got it. That's the same thing they did to David Dinkins.
Dinkins, okay? Dinkins was a fucking disaster. Almost as bad as this guy. Probably not the one you should be bringing up there, okay? Just saying.
Took us 30 years after what they did to David Dinkins. And who did we get after David Dinkins? Giuliani. It was a setup for a setback. That's what it was. And you know what happened with David Dinkins? They wore him down so much that black folks didn't come out to vote. They said, you know what, we're not coming out.
Giuliani. You know what? Listen, I've said this before. I'm not a Rudolph Giuliani fan. I don't like the guy. Never did. I think he's an embarrassment to Italians. However, I give credit where it's due, okay? When he was mayor, he did end up fixing everything that Dinkins fucked up. Listen, we went from Koch, who was a good mayor. Then we had Dinkins, who fucking was a walking time. He was a fucking disaster, okay? Then Giuliani and Bloomberg, and they kept the city running right. Giuliani did clean up Manhattan, almost a little too good, okay? I'll say it, but, the man did the fucking job. Nobody wore Dinkins down. He was already a low-energy fucking idiot. He always looked like he was half asleep, okay? Black people didn't come out to vote because they were embarrassed, or they voted right the second time around because they figured out the first time around maybe Dinkins wasn't the right type of guy, okay? So,
So here we are, in the place of my birth. People can say what they want. But you have a mayor from Brownsville. Never ran and never will.
You is you ate my baby. I done fucking this city up, yeah. So while we're in New York City, let's talk about the latest. A 15-year-old migrant with a gun from Venezuela that arrived here in September decides to shoot up a store in Times Square last night. He ends up shooting at two cops, injures a tourist from Brazil. And he's also wanted in a string of robberies in the Bronx. Now, let me unpack this here for a second. He's a 15-year-old migrant from Venezuela that arrived here illegally. And he managed to get his hands on a .40 caliber fucking handgun. Somebody explain to me how, but yet they want to make the gun laws for law-abiding citizens much tougher. Okay, so it becomes harder for people like us who want to legally carry a weapon so that we can protect ourselves from fucking savages like this. But yet a 15-year-old kid could easily get his hands on a fucking handgun. You're worried about the legal gun laws? Get the fuck out of here. Okay? I say if you're a fucking taxpayer, it should be a 15-minute process to get a fucking weapon. Because someone's going to have to protect us because the cops are not able to. Not because they can't, but because they're not allowed to. Okay? So I'd rather know that I'm legally allowed to protect myself from fucking animals like this. Okay? Trump was right. Again, they're not sending their best. We're not getting the best of the best here. If they're walking across the fucking border, chances are they're a problem. Case in point. Okay, next stop, Chicago. So the illustrious mayor of Chicago is now borrowing a page from Mayor Motherfucker's book. According to the Chicago mayor, he says, and I quote, I can't do my job because I have a black wife and black kids. And that's why I can't do my job. These motherfuckers drive me crazy. Come home, they go, Daddy, we hungry. We need some money and shit. Wife talk about, I ain't gonna suck your dick. No need you getting some pussy either. You better take your black ass outside, take the motherfucking garbage out. I ain't sitting here with these goddamn kids all day. You better be paying me some bills. I gotta get my head. I can't take a 5-minute fucking shit. That's why I gotta go to work. Just to get away from these motherfuckers. Do you expect me to do work when I come there? Motherfucker, I gotta need to decompress. So apparently the reason why Chicago is a fucking disaster is because the mayor is suffering from a black wife and children. Apparently they prevent him from correctly doing his job. Not my words, these are his. All right, kids, last stop, London. Just across the pond. So King Charles announced that he has cancer this week. This poor bitch. He waited until he was 76 to be king because his mother refused to die and abdicate. You know, she was 97 years old. She's like, I still want to be queen. Meanwhile, this poor fuck waited till he was 76 to be king. He finally gets crowned king. He's not even king for a year, and now he's going to die. I hate to be, the bearer of bad news, but they wouldn't say what kind of cancer he has, so I'm guessing it's something pretty fucking bad. Because he just got treated for prostate. My guess is he either has like colon cancer, pancreatic cancer. I could swear I read somewhere when the news first broke, the first thing I saw, I could have sworn it said he had pancreatic cancer, which it's like having liver cancer. You ain't coming back from that. But then they either they retracted it or what. Maybe I dreamt it. I don't know. But then everything else after that wouldn't specify what kind of cancer he has. But I'm almost positive I read somewhere he has pancreatic cancer. Maybe I'm wrong. But either way, he's 76. You're 76 and you get like fucking toe cancer. You're as good as dead. You know what I mean? So, he ain't long for this world. Before you know it, Prince William will be King William, and blah, 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 blah. All right, kids, your sports update. NFL, well, that's it. This is the end of the line, baby. The Super Bowl is this Sunday. And I can't handicap this fucking game because I can't... Listen, there's no fucking way Taylor Swift is missing this game. No way. But when she shows up, could affect the points. Like, KC is favored to win. I think they're like 2.5-point favorite on this. I on paper, taking Taylor Swift out of the equation, if she wasn't part of this equation, I would say it would be San Francisco by 2.5. That's basically a field goal. Because San Francisco has the better team. Okay? Everybody likes Mahomes and everything. I'm over the guy. Like he's a little bit of a whiny bitch. But on paper, I would say San Francisco. But you throw Taylor Swift into the wild card here, and I told you, San Francisco could be up by 20 at the bottom half of the fucking third quarter. Taylor Swift shows up, they're losing that game. Okay? She's Malika. She's definitely showing up at some point throughout this game. Whether it be on the Jumbotron, my guess is she might make a surprise appearance at the fucking, at the halftime show. Listen, I called. I have some friends in Vegas, okay? I made some phone calls this week. They assured me that she has a fucking corporate suite in the stadium. That tells me she's showing up. Now, at what point she shows up, I don't even know. So again, it's affecting my bets. My bet strategy is completely off. I mean, if you want to play it safe, KC by 2.5. I don't even know if I want to make a bet on this game. Okay, I'll be honest with you. I don't even know if I'm putting money on this fucking game because I really don't want to take KC. I like San Francisco's odds. If Taylor Swift wasn't part of this equation, I would say San Francisco by 2.5. But you throw fucking Taylor Swift in here, I don't even know. Like if her plane should crash, fucking San Francisco runs away with this. At least a touchdown. But it's not going to happen. Okay, so I don't know what to tell you. NHL, Rangers and Blackhawks tonight at 7:30 in Chicago. I should have stayed another fucking day. I could have saw this game for nothing. Islanders and Flames Saturday at 12. NBA, Nets and Spurs Saturday 5 o'clock. Knicks and Pacers Saturday at 6:30. Bulls and Magic Saturday at 6. What? Must they put all my fucking NBA teams on the same day at the same time? Like, what the fuck? Okay? Seriously? You know, did you ever hear like a Friday? So, like, nothing on tonight, basically. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Rangers and Blackhawks tonight. Okay, kids, on Tommy's Pub and Grub Review. Like, I wanted to have, like, a double whammy for you guys since I was in Chicago this week. I wanted to, like, do a review on Portillo's and Gibson's. Unfortunately, I didn't make it to Portillo's. There's, like, two places to get a Chicago beef sandwich. Okay? Two, like, top spots in the city. There's Al's, which I've done a review on that, I think, like, a couple of years ago, and Portillo's. Now, they're both excellent places. I like Portillo's just a little bit better, just a little bit. They make a fatter sandwich. Okay, Al's is great. Don't get me wrong, Al's is great, but I just like Portillo's a little bit better. Yesterday I figured I'd grab lunch at Portillo's on my way to the airport and then go to the airport and go home. I was in the office a little longer than I wanted to be, and by the time I got to Portillo's takes longer. I don't know why. They have like a weird ordering system. Like you order and they call your number. Al's, you go up to the fucking counter, you order, boom, they're quicker. I should have went to Al's yesterday, but I wanted to go to Portillo's, so I went, and then by the time I got there, the fucking line was too long. I said, you know what? I'll never make it to the fucking airport in time, so I said, fuck it. I just jumped in the car and went straight to O'Hare. So I'm going to have to make another trip to Chicago, I guess, for my Chicago beef sandwich. But I did go to Gibson's. So Wednesday night, Gibson's is one of my all-time favorite steakhouses. It's like that and Gallagher's, okay? In the city of Chicago, Gibson's is my top spot, okay? You can keep everything else. Gibson's is a famous spot. It's like the Peter Luger's of Chicago, basically. It's down on North Rush Street, which is like, so it's called the Gold Coast. That's like a strip where like there's all like a lot of like trendy bars and restaurants and stuff like that. Carmine's is down there, which was closed for renovations, which I'm not happy about because the place had like that 1970s kind of charm to it. Now they're going to try to modernize it, which I'm not thrilled about. But anyway, there's a little Irish bar that I used to hang out at down there called Dublin's. So I popped in there. Actually, the bartender remembered me. He's been there. He's a lifer, that guy. He's like, Tommy! He's like, what the fuck? Where you been? With a Chicago accent. I said, I haven't been in town for a while. I said, when I do, I go into Rosemont. But he was happy to see me. So I had a couple cocktails and I went over to Gibson's. And, Gibson's, it's like, what do you order? Last couple times I was at Gibson's, I went for lunch. So I had like the French dip. I've had their Chicago beef, which is made with prime rib. It's fucking fantastic. And I love their prime rib. So it's either I get like a strip, a ribeye, or the prime rib. So this time around, I says, you know what? I haven't had prime rib in forever. I'm going to get me a slab of prime rib, and my God, is it fucking delicious. And they give you this, like, horseradish sauce that you dip it in. Fucking lights out. It's so good. Just so good. My only gripe is they have these potato chips that they make, which are fucking phenomenal, but they only do it in the afternoon. They will not do it at night. But, yeah, if you're ever in Chicago, you want the best steak, there's only one place you go. You go to fucking Gibson's. That's it. That's my recommendation. Okay, kids, on What the Fuck Is That? We are going to talk about naked body-to-body massage. You heard me. So, I'm at Gibson's Wednesday night. I'm sitting at the bar. I ordered dinner. And, it's kind of crowded, and there's this attractive young lady sitting next to me, and right next to her is some guy. And I hear them talking. I hear their conversation. I've been cursed with exceptional hearing. And it turns out that the guy's talking to this chick. Actually, she picked him up, which in my head, I'm thinking she's probably a fucking call girl. But the guy had to be like, I don't know, 50s, mid-50s. He was probably a businessman, probably had some coin. I mean, I noticed he was wearing a Rolex. He was dressed nice, so she pegged him. He was a pigeon. See, I wear nice watches, but, I low-keyed them, so nobody really nobody knows what that is, Like a Rolex looks like a Rolex. Doesn't mean I wouldn't wear one. I'm just saying, usually when I'm out and about, I'll wear a nice watch, but unless you're a watch connoisseur, you don't really know what the fuck I'm wearing. I like it that way. So anyhow, I see she pegged him. So they're talking, and he's asked, I forgot what the hell I think he was a lawyer or some shit. And he asked her what she did, and she goes, oh, I'm a massage therapist. That's like code for, I get paid to fucking touch guys' cocks. So they're talking, he goes, oh, what kind of massage therapy you do? She says, oh, I do body-to-body massages. So they're talking, and I'm thinking, what the fuck is this? So apparently, here's what a body-to-body massage is. I mean, it's low-key prostitution. Basically, the woman strips down naked, maybe wears a thong or a G-string, and then rubs her body on top of yours. She massages you with her body, her tits and everything. This is basically dry humping. Okay? You're paying someone to fucking dry hump you. Now, I looked this shit up. And the explanation was, it's an erotic, sensual massage. It's very therapeutic. Therapeutic, my ass. Okay? Fucking guys that can't get laid in a cat house with a fistful of 50s pay for this shit. Okay? So they have some pretty much a naked broad on top of you, rubbing her body on you. Okay? Like I said, it's basically dry humping. With my luck, if I tried this, I'd get some 300-pound sister from Mount Vernon. You want a full body massage? Her tits would probably kill me, So listen, I hope they offer a happy ending after this, okay? Otherwise, you're gonna leave more fucking twisted than you did when you arrived. And I'm pretty sure, if a broad is rubbing herself on top of you, I mean, does it slide in? I don't, the things that people come up with, okay? And I'm thinking this broad is falsely advertised. She's basically a hooker, but she said, I do massage therapy. Okay, yeah. And I'm a feelings counselor. I'm fucking real. Okay, kids, I'm right, a racist. Let's see here. Okay, once convicted, black people on average receive sentences 40% longer than white offenders of the same types of crimes. Well, that's racist. On average, the sentences for convicted blacks are 10% longer than convicted whites. I can't imagine why that is. Anyway, on your PSA, here's my problem for the week. Like I said, I mentioned earlier when I was in an airport, right, that in the morning time, some woman was in a wheelchair and she was able to, basically circumvent the line because somebody was assisting her. And while this was happening, when this woman, Scarlett, called me over, there was a black lady in line and she looked at me, she says, where you get a wheelchair at? She said, if you're in a wheelchair, you don't have to wait in line. She goes, what? And she goes, if you need a wheelchair, you got to ask for one. And so this lady gets off of the line to get a wheelchair. And Scarlett looks at me and says, these people, they're so dishonest. There's nothing wrong with that woman. She to go get a wheelchair so she don't have to wait online. Unfucking believable. And I says, yeah, Scarlett, that's terrible. Now, I'm leaving Chicago. And I'm waiting to board the plane. Now, here's the thing. So, some lady because she knows the fucking routine now, right? So, but people have nothing wrong with them. That they basically say they need a wheelchair so they can get through lines quickly or get on the fucking airplane first. Because if you're on a wheelchair, you board the plane first. You also disembark first. So this lady, nothing wrong with this woman, right? Bitch, I see you walking through the airport with your 11 suitcases. She gets to the gate and tells them she needs a fucking wheelchair. She's perfectly fine. She can walk better than me, right? So when the plane taxis, to the hookup, before anybody else boards, they come out with a fucking wheelchair. And like I said, this lady had 11 fucking suitcases. She's stacking them in the thing, so she sits on the chair like this, and they gotta wheel her onto the fucking plane. Okay? So now she sits there. Nothing wrong. I saw this broad get up like 3 times throughout the fucking flight to go to the bathroom. So you can stand, you can walk. But you can't walk down a gangplank. Okay. Now, the plane lands at fucking Kennedy. We all gotta wait fucking 20 minutes for this fat ass to get a fucking wheelchair, to get on the wheelchair so she can get off the fucking plane first. Or like this disgraziata, they should beat her with her own suitcases. I mean, I hate to say this. 9 times out of 10, the people who are doing this shit are black women. Like, what the fuck? You can't walk, all right? Like, I mean, you really need to be the first one on and off the fucking plane? Seriously? So we all gotta wait because you don't feel like fucking walking. If there was something wrong with her, fine. If you're gonna lie and get a wheelchair, at least make it look good. Fake a limp or something. Drag your leg. Pretend to have Tourette's. Like give us something for some kind of entertainment. Don't act like you're perfectly fucking fine. Okay? These are the people that need to be thrown in front of oncoming traffic. Anyway, kids. Stay COVIDless, kids. No mask, don't ask, hate and kiss my ass. And remember, who loves you, babe? It's been your Friday wrap-up, and I'll see you when I see you.